Hewitt. I'm joined by the chairwoman of the GOP, Ronna McDaniel. She has done such a great job this year. Good morning, Chairwoman McDaniel. Great to have you on.
Great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
I do think that your closing strategy with the president was remarkable. Excuse my voice. I've been on for pretty much constantly for 2 days, as you probably have. You saw that Georgia was going to be close. Give us your update, please, on Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Arizona, Chairwoman McDaniel.
Sure. So, Arizona, we're waiting for about 400,000 additional ballots, mainly from Maricopa County. These are ballots that were dropped off in person, absentee in person, or early or ballots that were cast on election day. So, these will break heavily towards the president. This is what we saw in Maricopa. The voting towards election day went in his favor. If we can win those by over 60%, he's going to win Arizona. Pennsylvania, he's up 2 points. So there's so much. He wins both of those states, he wins. So, and then we have legal challenges in states like Georgia, where just last night we had a county that suddenly found 15,000 more ballots in the middle of the night. So many of these things are happening across the country. We've seen some irregularities at these election places in Detroit. They kicked our poll watchers out and boarded up the windows so we couldn't watch. These are things we're seeing across the country. So we're going to exercise legal challenges in these areas as well.
Talk to me a little bit about Georgia because I look at the Pennsylvania map and I'm fairly confident, given the Western Pennsylvania vote that's still out, it can offset gains made by the vice president. I don't know it for sure. I'm very confident about Arizona. I didn't know we were 400,000 votes out. I thought we were 275,000 votes out, but you would know better than me. Tell me about what happened in Georgia. I am unaware of that story.
So it was Chatham County last night. They had said they had about 4,000 ballots outstanding, and then it just changed to 15,000 in the middle of the night that they said are outstanding, which of course are not going to go in our favor. Same with Fulton County. We had a similar issue there, and DeKalb. So Democrat strongholds consistently, when once the most of the vote is in, come out and say, "Oh, now we have this drop of, in DeKalb's case, 114,000 more ballots." And these are the types of things that create uncertainty and frustration with Republicans because we aren't given the transparency we deserve. We're not able to watch many of these processes take place because counties won't let us in, and it creates an uncertainty into election integrity. And we've got to fight this as a country. And it's sad to see that Democrats aren't saying, as they saw what just happened to Detroit yesterday, when they're literally boarding up windows so we can't watch the election counting. Oh, let Republicans in. We have nothing to hide. When they don't say that, it does create that uncertainty.
Now, Ronna McDaniel, in 2000, there was James Baker, a former Secretary of State, who oversaw every legal challenge and made decisions from one chair, so that the Republicans would not end up stopping their own legal arguments in another place, depending on if the laws were different or not. Who is in charge of this legal effort nationally?
So for the Trump campaign, it would be Justin Clark who is running that for them. And that's obviously where most of the legal challenges are going to come from. And then the RNC works in conjunction, and we've been sending lawyers out to these states and actually getting bodies in. So we'll be part of the canvassing process in some of these states, looking for irregularities. In Georgia, you can cure ballots. So we've sent a lot of folks there to make sure that we can have that ability. Democrats, of course, are going to do that. So but he is the person running it for the Trump campaign and nationally.
When you say you can cure ballots, does that mean you find a stack of spoiled ballots or DQ'd ballots and then go through them by hand to see if, in fact, they ought to be counted?
So you can cure. You can go to a voter who didn't put fill in the bubble well enough, or there's things that they missed on their ballot, and you can actually find that voter and give them the opportunity to correct their ballot. I think it's crazy, but that's the law in Georgia and Arizona, and Democrats will do this, so we will do this as well. And of course, having a ground game and an ability to go out and find those voters is critical, so they can fix that ballot and it can be counted.
Now, one way or the other, Georgia is going to matter a lot in January. It's either going to provide the 52nd Senate seat or the 51st Senate seat, depending on whether or not David Perdue holds on to his 50%. Who runs the Georgia Republican Party, and how do people who listen to this show who are so inclined? We're on live in Atlanta. I got a huge audience in Atlanta and in Macomb and in Athens and other places. How do people get to help the Georgia Republican Party?
Well, I'd say just help the National Republican Party right now. We're running a huge legal effort. We'll be running the recount operation and be paying for that and also the ground game. So go to GOP.com or Win Red and donate. That's how you're going to be helpful. But they have a great chair there. His name is David Schaefer, very, very good guy in Georgia, and we feel very strong about our ground. And we'll have a message to go to Georgia in these runoffs, which is Democrats, if they take the Senate, will get rid of the filibuster. They will stack the Supreme Court, and they will fundamentally transform our government and remove checks and balances. And I just think the people of Georgia are going to want that. It is socialist agenda that was repudiated by the American people.
At this hour, I know we picked up one governorship. I believe we flipped one state legislative chamber.
Correct.
At this hour, how many House seats net plus for the Republicans?
So right now we're at 5, but there are still many outstanding. So we think it could go up to 10, which, heading into election, based on the polls that have been proven to be horrifically inaccurate, we were expecting to lose 5 to 10 seats. They were expecting us to lose the Senate and lose the presidency. I mean, polls from Fox News to Quinnipiac to Rasmussen, they were wrong across the board. There was not a single poll that had Susan Collins winning. It just shows you, and it's frustrating for me, Hugh, because as a party chair, as they put these polls out that make it look like it's inevitable that we're going to lose, it makes it harder to fundraise.
Of course it does.
It makes it harder to turn out our vote because people think it's not going to happen. It is suppression and it's malpractice and it's harmful. There is a harm to it. And we dealt with that at the RNC as our donors were saying, oh, it's a done deal, you're going to lose. And we kept saying, this is tight. We can win. And nobody believed that. I mean, many people believed that on our donor side, and we were raising money. But we certainly had drop off as people said, Ronna, you're just saying that because you're the chair. You know what? We were right. It was tight.
I tried to explain this last night, Chairwoman McDaniel, to people who are sports fans. Do you buy season tickets to the 0-16 Browns, or do you buy season tickets to the Super Bowl champion Patriots? Well, I buy tickets to the Browns because I'm a nut, but a lot of people won't because they just won't invest in what is a certain loser. And certainty of losing was what's projected. It's no longer a bug, it's a feature of polling. It's so broken, we should never trust a news outlet that trusts these polls. They don't know what they're doing.
Well, I think it's hand in hand with the bias we see in the media. So why would we not expect bias in the polling? I mean, the fact that they suppressed the entire Hunter Biden story, which deserved to be investigated, which they hadn't said was inauthentic, and to say we have determined that this is false, yet an anonymous low-level staffer from the White House gets to write a book, gets to sit on a network, lie to the network on air, and keeps his job. I mean, there's such a discrepancy as how Republicans and Democrats are treating. So, of course, there's bias in the media, which means there's bias in the polling. And it's harmful, and it absolutely hurt our candidates heading into this election.
So, objectively, Chairwoman McDaniel, to sum up, I feel good about Arizona. I feel pretty good about Pennsylvania. I'm stressed about Georgia. Does that reflect your view?
Yeah, I think we're going to hold on to Georgia. Our models have us holding on, but it's going to be razor thin, and we could be in recount territory. So litigation is going to be part of this election for the next few weeks, I think.
GOP.com if people want to help out. Thank you, Chairwoman McDaniel. Great to see you, and thank you for joining me via Skype.
Thanks, Hugh.
I want to play for